elsewhere. So this is going to be, pretty standard from what we've seen.
Yes, sir, and it looks like we are off. We start with a map in the sanctuary and 10 sticks in Link's house. We got our early...
We've got, I saw a 3 and a 5 on Eastern and Desert, and I thought I saw a crystal on Tower of Hera.
Yes, it was a crystal at Hera. So 3 crystals in the light world. Interesting early setup. Makes you really wonder where the dark world pendants are chilling out tonight.
Got a couple of runners going to the Uncle in the back of Escape, and then 2 headed towards the Lost Woods. So far, just a quarter of a heart piece in the side of Uncle, and Uncle himself having bombs.
Ooh, some early bombs would be nice for the Kakariko checks. We do get, it turns out our tier 1 tree pull is just a single rupee. We do get powder in the Lost Woods.
Yeah, powder not immediately useful, but you never know what this seed will hold.
Interestingly, nobody went to Lumberjack. Scary Olive checked the tree pull and the bush crab, but then went straight to Lost Woods.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit before we find out if Aghanim is going to be required, but sooner or later we'll figure that out. We'll either run out of places to go, or we'll run out of items and have to get progression there. So now these runners have kind of swapped where they were. The other 2 going to Lost Woods, and then starting from Link's house. Although Zelga-Desan is headed to the south part of Kakariko.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to check, they're going to do the other way around because they don't have any bombs, so they are checking the 2 bushes here that have a 50-50 chance of a bomb drop.
Aghanim just looked like it was a quarter of a heart piece. Koi checked it.
Yeah, it looks like at least that won't be an issue. That was Ice Rod, I think it was last night. Just 10 sticks on the race game. Doubt Zelga's going for that.
Yeah, you'll find plenty of those. So he's going to check out Library, and then Scary Olive right behind him as Koi and Ohado are in the middle of Lost Woods there.
Yeah, all of our runners are going to be converging on Kakariko pretty much at the same time here. The race game...
Makes sense. There's a lot of dense checks in Kakariko. It's a great place to start. Although there are some unorthodox routes, this is a pretty good route to go.
Yeah, with that 1 bomb that Zelga is carrying, he can go, in fact, I think that is what he's doing. He's going to the bombable hut here in order to get 4 guaranteed bomb drops there rather than buy some, especially since he doesn't have the cash for it.
Yeah, no cash, no extra bombs. This is always a great play to see. A lot of runners will forget about, these 4 free bombs back here. Koi's going to head back into the Blind's hideout. We'll see what's down here. So there's 4 chests plus 1 in the back behind a bomb. Chicken Hut just has a big 20. So we got a shield, and some bombs, and some more bombs.
Well, I guess he had a free bomb fill. We also did get Bombos medallion back there in Blind's hut as well. So we have a nice early medallion, and there's our bomb money.
Yeah, there's all your money. You're going to need that money for one thing or another. There's a couple of places in the Dark World, and you're always thinking, maybe something is on Zora. Ooh, Scary Olive picked up a bottle in the well. It's always good to have a bottle in Kakariko.
Yeah, one of the 2 things you always want to see in Kakariko on your first sweep, a bottle and the flute.
And a sword, and a cape. Ooh,
uh-oh.
Might be telling us something.
Yeah, not a very good something. That means we're just a lamp away from having Ago 1 in Logic already, and we get a lousy return on the bottle vendor, just 20 bucks for paying 100.
Just a big scam. So Scary Olive's going to take that bottle to the sick kid. In return, he'll get a fire rod. Wow, that's great.
Well, not exactly a lamp, but that does open up a couple of locations, courtesy of the version 31 logic. Given our current equipment, it does allow us to access Dark Cross. Assuming we find a key in the first half of Zelda's cell. Of the front of Escape, I should say.
Yeah, will give us access to Dark Cross if they choose to make an Eastern play. Yeah, it will open up a room in there. So all of these runners just finishing up each other's checks in Kakariko. I gotta believe that between the next few places to go, either Escape or to Eastern. No, they have South Shore too. I think South Shore would be another viable option.
Yeah, especially with Fire Rod, that's a good backup work to kill mini Moldorms, although you have a sword and bombos, so that can also act as an extra emergency screen nuke in case Fire Rod doesn't cooperate with you. And the mini Moldorms usually don't cooperate either, so...
No, just make that room as easy as you can. The Scary Olive will head to the castle. He's going to do Escape here.
Not sure if we mentioned it before, but there is only 50 rupees on the library, so no reason to go back for that either.
Koi going to be a little disappointed that it's just some arrows. Zelga Dasan heading into the dam, going to find our sunken treasure.
No, nothing inside the dam, but now we'll see what's excuse me. We'll see what's flooded.
So Scary Olive taking a hint on that fire rod, going right to the back of Escape, or I'm sorry, right to Dark Cross actually.
Yeah, this makes a lot of sense. This makes a lot of sense. Just in case you don't get the, in case the key is in Dark Cross, you can go straight to the back of Escape. If it's not in Dark Cross, you can just Death Warp and do the front.
Exactly. Yeah, sometimes you just got to listen to the seed. You found an early bottle and an early fire rod. This is open, so it makes perfect sense to do it. Zelga Dasan doing a mix of bomb strats and sword to take care of the Moldorms. Bunch of money, a heart container, a hammer, and a moon pearl. So we've got 2 pieces of the Aghanim puzzle and 2 pieces of the Dark World puzzle. So if we find a lamp, it might lead us one way. If we find gloves, it will lead us another.
Yes, indeed. And it looks like it was just bombs on Desert Ledge. It was also just bombs in Dark Cross. We are, however, seeing the our left side runners checking out Agina's cave.
And on the other side, on the other end of the world, Zelga Dasan is going towards the Ice Rod Cave. Looked like Scary Olive picked up a bow in the first chest in Escape.
That's a good one, because that puts actually the path to Armos Knights already into logic, assuming the big key is not in its vanilla location.
Yeah, would have to do a dark room, since that wouldn't be in logic, but I don't think any of our runners have problems with some of these dark rooms, Eastern included.
Absolutely not. They'll definitely do what they have to do in order to try to avoid Aghanim if they can. Although I have seen that vanilla big key chest end up having an important item on some occasions. But yeah, Eastern does not sound like a bad idea, although Zelga has elected to use the Moon Pearl to fake Flipper to the bridge fella. And with the Moon Pearl, we'll be able to set up a water walk in the Zora area to check the Waterfall Fairy chests.
And has plenty of money for Zora, so I think he's going to make that whole route. Koi is getting his items from Mini Moldorm, and Ohado, Scary Olive are down in the Escape. Ohado at the start of it, Scary Olive just picked up the big key to get a big 20 from Zelda's chest. So not a whole lot of stuff at the end, but did get a bow out of Escape, so that was great to play for Scary Olive.
Yeah, that's going to give Scary Olive quite a couple of options to think about, as Scary Olive still has to do the South Shore checks as well. But yeah, it does seem like Eastern is the logical play right now, as we can't get up Death Mountain, we don't have Dark World access, and we don't have Aga access.
Yeah, you've got Sahasrara and you have Eastern, so a lot of chests to go there. Not a whole lot of places to go otherwise.
We do find the Sank Heart in the Waterfall Ferry, so now we know where that's hiding in case anyone needs a free health refill.
You were asking about the pendants in the Dark World. Misery Myers, our green pendant. Ooh, it looked like there was the Quake medallion on the ledge.
Yeah, that was quick, all right. I missed what that first item I blinked was in Sahasrara's closet. But I'll check my playback real quick. Semper Firedog, our tracker, is saying that it is all cash.
Shout out to our trackers keeping us honest.
And the Zora was a scam. So yeah, at this point, it is looking like there has to be progression in Eastern Palace at this point.
Yeah, again, what's it going to be? Is it going to be a glove? Is it going to be a flute? Or maybe it's going to be a lamp? And that's definitely going to determine what the next play is.
What if it's all three?
That wouldn't be so bad.
I've seen an Ice Palace once where it had all three Go mode items. It was Mirror, Bombos, and Master Sword. All in Ice Palace. Our first chest in Eastern Palace is that big key, so that means the path to Armos Knights is in logic, and we can actually get our first crystal right now.
Yeah, it's always great to see runners have that option to go get a crystal early. It could be a sign of a quicker than normal seed, or it could be just a tease for later on. There's our glove. So in the right chest in Eastern Palace, that's where progression is.
Yep, that is going to be our Dark World access. And with our current equipment, we can clear Thieves Town and Skull Woods. We have a sword, we have Fire Rod, we have hammer, so we can check the Thieves Town big chest.
Thieves Town, not so bad. You've got a cape, so you can kind of cheese the blind fight. Scary Olive on a little bit of low health, so he might not want to do Skull Woods right away with just a fighter sword.
Yeah, most of the heart containers we've seen have been in South Shore and Waterfall Ferry.
So Ahado starting to make the Eastern play. Koi finishing up his Hyrule Castle checks, doing the Dark Cross area with that Fire Rod.
Yeah, now we've seen the map and we've seen the big key. We have not seen the compass, so right now there is a 50-50 chance that the compass is in the vanilla big key chest, in which case we don't have to worry about it, but the other 50 is that there is an item down there which is logically lamp locked.
Yeah, so Scary Olive decided not to go for it. I wonder if Zelga will go for it. And if it's of any consequence.
So for those not familiar with the V31 logic, the reason why the vanilla big key chest is not in logic yet is because the path to Armos Knights has torches that you can light with the Fire Rod. This recently was a change in version 31 that became integrated into the Dark Room logic for the runners. So with this, we can get to Armos Knights, but there are no torches leading up to the vanilla big key chest. So that area is still logically lamp locked.
Yeah, we've already seen two of those dark rooms. The last one, I'm actually blanking where the third one is. Oh, it's in Palace of Darkness basement. So Scary Olive making a quick fight out of those Armos Knights. Picks up the first crystal at about 1430. So strikes first blood here.
Yeah, but there is an item in that vanilla big key chest, as we just got the compass off Armos Knights.
Zelgadasan's going to give us some information on what that is. We'll see if it's of any use or just junk.
Yeah, these are the gambles that really decide between a record time and a last location in some cases. But it was just a heart container.
Scary Olive could use the heart container going into the Dark World, but he'll go check the back of Escape. No one's checked that just yet.
I believe our key to the back of Escape is back here too, so this is the only way to get back there. So what was glove locked down here? And did we find the map to? I don't think we saw the map yet either. So this might only have one item. Oh, the map was in Sank, so there's 2 items here, including a sword and the red meringue. All right, we've got our other pendants. Our other 2 pendants are Palace of Darkness and Turtle Rock. Ooh,
Like Swamp
that's
Palace.
a huge one.
Yeah, Swamp Palace is our 5/6. So having Turtle Rock as a pendant, no reason to go up there, at least immediately. So it could be a time saver for all of our runners.
Yeah, not only that, the single layer of Destinies in Hype Cave, by the way, so that's immediately maximum hype. Also gets a mail upgrade and another heart container, so it's not the best Hype Cave I've seen.
I've seen worse, believe it or not.
Yeah, the health will help at this point, but yeah, with Myra and Turtle Rock being pendants, we may end up not even needing medallions.
It's true.
Yeah, that's a big, that throws a lot of questions, because if you end up being able to skip both of those dungeons, those are not quick dungeons, even, especially, Turtle Rock.
Yeah, even if you're going to go mode Turtle Rock, it's not much different than having to full clear it. So we've got Koi and Alhado about to head into the big key locked area of Eastern Palace. And Zelgadasan got his back of Escape. Now Scary Olive going to check out some cleanup items here with Agina's Cave. So all of these runners kind of weaving in and out of each other's paths at the moment.
Yeah, and as we mentioned before, we have full clear ability of Thieves Town and Skull Woods right now, so I would wager that once everybody starts setting foot in the Dark World, if they're not checking Hype Cave already, then that would be the next thing on their docket. If I had to be a betting man, I would wager they're probably going to do Skull Woods first and just go top down through the back of the front of Skull Woods and then into Thieves Town.
Yeah, probably a good route. So you start at the back and just go straight to Mothula, head back through the main part if you need to, if you haven't found your item, and then clear out Village of Outcasts, just so you're not double backing.
Yeah, and I see some discussion of some potential items for pedestal, including flippers, boots, hookshot, and mirror. Yeah, all distinct possibilities right now for the pedestal. Yeah, because Mitts cannot be on the pedestal. We need that for Turtle Rock and Meyer.
I think mitts are non-negotiable. You need those to get into Ganon's tower.
True.
Alhado also has a really good fight, gets his first crystal out of Eastern Palace. So yeah, you mentioned going to Village of Outcasts. They do have the gloves. If somebody really was curious about, Old Man and Spectacle Rock, they could get the save point and get some information on Death Mountain if they really cared to do it.
Well, here's an interesting check. Zelga is taking a peek at the magic bat, courtesy of the hammer and powder.
Both were early, so it's possible that we have something here. Both were in Sphere 1.
Not this time.
Not quite.
Yeah, I think our runners are going to kind of wait on Death Mountain for a little while, just because the only two items they could get on Death Mountain is the Old Man item and the item inside Spectacle Rock for right now. So the density's not there yet until we get East Death Mountain access and Dark Death Mountain access, really. So I would imagine since the higher density is in Skull Woods and Thieves Town, they'll check that first, then start thinking about the mountain.
Zelga Dasan gonna go through the part of Lost Woods to get him into that portal, so he is gonna do that. Scary Olive made a different route into the Dark World. Checked out Hype Cave. So yeah, we've got a little bit of divergence here on who's gonna check what. Scary Olive taking the eastern way, so it looks like he might check out some things like Pyramid or even Pod.
Ooh, actually, I had not considered Pod. A good chunk of it is pretty much open since we can get through to the Rupee Basement, we can get to the Bowlock side. Actually, our runners could illogically full clear it if they so chose.
Yeah, only a pendant, so you really got to gamble how far you want to get into Palace of Darkness. But yes, there are a lot of chests there. There's 5 items. Always a good chance something's there.
To answer question chat, open defeat Ganon means that there's actually one detail on the title that's not there, and that is that there should be a 7-7 there, and what that means is that you need 7 crystals to open Ganon's Tower, and you do have to go through Ganon's Tower in a defeat Ganon seed, and defeat Aga 2. And then you have to just defeat Ganon. The alternative would be Fast Ganon, which would have the Pyramid of Power open right off the bat. And, oh, I just noticed, actually, I looked on the playback, Koi had an interesting way of setting up a fake flipper there. It looked like he shot arrows at a fence and then dropped a bomb and jumped in that way.
Aha, so he did the fake flipper deletion. A newly found glitch in the past month or so that is an approved glitch by the Racing Council. So that's awesome to see people really catching on to these new glitches that are being found.
Yeah, the splash deletion glitch. Now, I have recently heard about this one. I've never seen it in action till tonight, though, so very interesting.
It's actually
the one glitch...
a few ways you can do that. I'm shaky on the details. He showed off one of them. There's several different places it's useful with different types of items like arrows and bombs.
Don't think we found any items of any interesting note yet in Skull Woods here. We have seen the big key, though, so we can check the big chest, if nothing else. Yeah, one glitch that I recently saw on stream and actually surprised another commentator on it during a SMZ3 stream a couple of weeks ago was the Phantom Purple Chest glitch, where you can mirror to Gary without having the purple lunchbox, but if you're in the right position and you've dropped the chest off in the right spot, you can just instantly get the item without bringing the chest over.
Yeah, I've seen that on stream. There's, it's just amazing. 20-something years later, and we're still finding new things about this game.
And we discover Palace of Darkness is not bow-locked. We got a small key in that first chest.
Zelga Dasan just a screen away from dropping into his Mothula fight. He has Master Sword, he has Hammer. I think it'll be okay for him. I don't think he'll have too much of an issue with this.
Yeah, Mothula hovering around the spikes, not the best spot for him, unfortunately, since the spikes do negate any damage dealt, for whatever reason. But clearly Zelga is not bothered in the slightest by that. Picks up the map.
So still nothing interesting in Skull Woods. Koi gave us our pyramid check, and it was just bombs. He's going to head up towards the Catfish and see what's up there now. As Alhado is going all the way back to Zora's domain. Not going to find much there, although we talked about the splash deletion. This is a spot where he could do that and go grab the Quake Medallion if he's familiar with the glitch.
True. Alright, so Zelga's going to go check underneath the bridge in the back of Skull Woods here. We'll see what's back here. There should be an item at this point. Oh, wow. Good time for that item.
That's a great item. And yeah, very good time to do that. Just get you right out of the dungeon.
Not only get you right out of the dungeon, that is now our East Death Mountain access as well. We have the mirror, we have the hammer, we can go to Tower of Hera, we can full clear Tower of Hera. And Catfish with our Titan's mitts. So we have logical Dark Death Mountain access to go with it.
Yeah, things are starting to pick up for these runners, finding 2 of those key items there. Just going to have to kind of get them all together on one player to really make great use of them. But having either one of them opens up a lot for both of them.
Yeah, that's a pretty advantageous time to pick that up for Koi, because Catfish is not really something you can route in particularly well, even with Pegasus Boots and Flute. Especially considering how far off Catfish is. Now, granted, we now have the mirror, so Zelga... I think Zelga checked Zora already, am I off?
He did.
Yeah, so unfortunately, since Zelga already checked Zora, it's not going to be optimal for him to go up to Catfish and then mirror to Zora, unfortunately, unless he starts thinking about Quake after picking up Flippers. And actually, as Chad points out, with the Titan's mitts and with Koi about to pick up the mirror, this will be a great time to integrate the Smith chain and purple chest. We get another bottle in the back of the brewery, this time with some blue goo.
Scary Olive is actually going through the dark maze, so he is taking Pod to a bit further out of logic, and I lost count of how many items we had found there. I don't think it was many of any use. I saw 50 rupees in the basement.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of keys so far. I'm pretty certain both of these chests should be items. Well, there's another empty bottle, so that's 3 bottles accounted for now. To answer question in chat, the mirror was underneath in the back of Skull Woods, in the chest before Mothula. There is our flute in Thieves Town.
Excellent. With that mirror, just flute over and activate it.
Unfortunately, the one thing that, since Corey is doing Skull Woods, the one thing I would have liked to have seen before this point is the book, because I've said it before, and I will say it countless times again. Whenever I see book, Skull Woods completion and mirror in one go, that's the materials needed for a pet check. A convenient pet check, I should stress.
Yeah, if it's right there, just get it out of your mind, or know that you have to do all dungeons if it is something of value on that pedestal. So we've got Ohado and Koi both in Skull Woods. Koi's about to hit up Mothula, and again with the Master Sword and Hammer, should make pretty easy work of him.
Yeah, now unfortunately, there are still 3 items in the back of Thieves Town. We've only seen the flute, the other were the map and compass, and the big, of course, the guaranteed big key.
Yeah, and having the hammer, he doesn't have to worry about, orphaning that big key. I'm sorry, the big chest in the basement if it came to that. So he will check all of them anyway.
Yeah, luckily that will not be an issue for any of our runners tonight. I have seen that Thieves Town big chest break so many races.
So as long as Scary Olive is here, he is going to head to the pod basement without a lamp and headed towards a Helmasaur with a pendant on it. I believe it still has an item, which is why he's going for it.
Fairly safe bet.
Not a very easy dark room, this next one that he's going to get to with all the turtles. There are, enough turtles to really ruin your day.
Yeah, luckily there are torches around, so worst case scenario, he can light a torch right now and just improvise accordingly. Ooh, yeah, that's a very lucky full magic drop right there.
Yeah, while this room does have torches, this is not one of the rooms that is, able to be gone through logically in Palace of Darkness with the fire rod.
Yeah, that is because the room before it doesn't have torches, so therefore it's not a logical excuse. Now, we did see a hard piece in the maiden cell of Thieves Town, which means that the small key has locked itself in the big chest. And Blind is guaranteed to have our 4th item.
We got 3 boss fights going on at once. We've got Mothula, Blind, and Helmasaur.
I only have 2 eyes. How am I supposed to see all 3 of these?
Well, 2 of them are done, so great work for Ohado, great work for Scary Olive, and Zelga Disan on his last hit takes out Blind very quickly. So the bug net was on Helmasaur.
And Kane of Somaria was on Blind. So everybody is going to get that. Oh, but if the key's not in right side GT, that K may end up being completely useless.
Right.
That's hilarious.
Very few logical uses for Kane.
Yeah, Skullwoods and Thieves Town. I said it earlier that the West Dark World was a good play, and it paid off. We got Mirror, we got Somaria, we got Flute.
And Kane. Yeah, just loaded the Dark World over here so far.
Yeah, we've got Koi going to check us Graveyard Ledge. See if there's any goodies back here.
After this, he could actually check King's Doom just by mirroring to and from the Dark World.
Well, I believe he needs boots for that.
He does need boots. I'm sorry.
Yeah, unfortunately, no boots checks just yet. Boots may end up being required if we have a big key on the torch. But as of now, we do not know. We actually don't have... We actually could go clear desert now, courtesy of Flute plus Mirror. We can just mirror from the Mire Shed.
Just a shield up on Bumper Cave. It's the fire shield for Zelga Dasan already having his baby shield. So just going to skip that. Doesn't need it right now. Or ever.
Yeah, I think the item our runners really want to find right now are the flippers. In fact, thinking about it, yeah, we're just flippers and hookshot away from go mode. Or possibly boots, and logically lamp, but who's counting lamp? Clearly these runners aren't.
Yeah, actually, if Mire is not required, you may not need lamp at all. Logically.
Yeah, because I don't think there was anything lamp locked in Pot or Eastern, right? Yeah, there wasn't anything lamp locked back there.
So we finally get to see our first trip to the mountain. Zelga Dasan fluting up there. Gonna go get the old man first, and then make his way likely through the top of Death Mountain.
There was our second Skullwoods items. It was bombs in the pinball chest. A chest that can now have an item courtesy of the V31 logic. Yeah, although Zelga missing out on Catfish is not a good... it's not good, because, yeah, Zelga needs those Titan's mitts.
Yeah, Zelga needs a Titan's mitts. Zelda needs to pick up his bow, too. Just remind me real quick where a bow was.
It was in the front of Escape.
Okay, that's right.
To answer question chat, the mitts block Ice Palace and the entrance to GT, because we need to get up to Dark Death Mountain to get to GT. And just a hard piece inside Spectacle Rock, it looked like.
And on the top of it. So I mentioned that you know, Zelga Dasan needs to find his bow. We mentioned Hyrule Castle. It could actually be another bow somewhere else in the world that he comes across, with there being progressive bows now in V31.
Absolutely true. If that's the case, that would be a great Hyrule Castle bailout moment for Zelga.
There's our big key, so not likely to have to go to the basement of Hera tonight.
At least not yet. Wow, there's our flippers. That's huge. That opens up Swamp and Ice. Well, it opens up to left side Swamp, to be precise, and it opens up Ice Palace.
Yeah, Zelga Dasan gonna have to get his Titan's mitts to go to Ice Palace. He'll have to go to the Catfish for that, but Swamp Palace definitely open at this point. Scary
Yeah,
Olive taking on Mothula. Ooh, takes a death to Mothula.
he did pick up a fairy, though, courtesy of that bug net, so lucky break there for Scary Olive.
He had it planned all along. That's why he went to Helmasaur. Finishes off Mothula, gets his second crystal here.
Ooh, there's a compass. That means there is an item in the Hera basement. Now, you are only a couple items away from go mode already. Do you skip that check?
Well, we got to get Moldorm first. Moldorm also has something to possibly have an item.
Oh, right. I forgot we already have
Flippers.
found one item. So yeah, it's 50-50. But if this is a key, do you check the basement despite all you have found already? Or do you bank on East Death Mountain and Dark Death Mountain having the rest of your progression?
You know, with the amount of time that basement takes, I would say that let's go get the dense checks first. And you're always on the mountain. You've got the mirror to come back. Does find the key, so he's got to make a choice here. Koi picking up his cane. Really good blind fight. So we have 3 crystals, 2 crystals, and 2 crystals. So, you know, runners are still, you know, pretty close to each other, all things considered.
Yeah, and the nice thing about the flippers being in Hera is with the items that everybody else has, they're going to probably check Hera sooner than later, because they have Mirror and Hammer, so they'd be enticed to go to East Death Mountain real quickly. And Koi especially with those Titan's mitts.
Yeah, definitely. So Zelga Dasan gonna go worry about East Death Mountain and Dark Death Mountain before he does. Excuse me, not Dark Death Mountain, but he'll check out Spiral Cave and Paradox before he decides to go back to the basement, if he goes back there.
Yeah, I have to figure Death Mountain is Koi's next stop right now. Oh, never mind. He's going back to Dark World.
I don't think he finished everything in Village of Outcast yet.
That's right. We also do have the Smith sequence, for which Koi can easily do with those mitts.
Yep, only one who is able to do it at this point. Zelga Dasan found that hook shot, so I gotta believe that he's gonna go to Swamp with those flippers and, you know, take care of that right away.
Yeah, that is crazy. We are in sort of a Schrodinger's no mode here. It is entirely dependent now if we are boots locked out of Desert or GT. That's crazy. We're only 38 and a half minutes in.
Exactly, 38 and a half minutes in, and between all the runners, we have just about everything to complete the seed. Like you said, it's all dependent on if we need boots or if we find them first.
Well, let's see what Paradox Cave has for us. I've seen Paradox Cave had a lot of value as of late. But, oh, well, that's useless. Maybe. Yeah, Ice Rod, literally only good for 1 check, and unless Trinex has the boots, I don't think anybody's going to be taking advantage of that.
Yeah. It's always there when you need it and not there. It's always there when you don't need it, not there when you do need it. Koi actually is going to go free the frog, go return him to the smith's hut, and start his smith chain. So we'll get a few checks that no one has done just yet from him.
Yeah, this makes for Koi a lot of sense, because you can do Smiths, you can do Hammer Pegs, you can do K45, you can do Stumpy. There are a lot of checks you can do in this southwest chain. So yeah, this is unfortunately going to lead him away from the mountain for a little bit, but I can't imagine it's going to put him off too long.
Yeah, knowing what we know, mountain is probably the right play at the moment. We'll have to see, because he could find boots, and he could be the first to find boots, and they could be required.
Yeah, we still have no clue where those boots are hiding right now. For all we know, they could be on pedestal.
Very true. So Alhado going into fight blind here. He's done a good job so far taking down his bosses, and gonna try and take him on with the script for blind.
Yeah, it took a hit there, so he's a little off now.
That's okay. He's on phase 3. Just another couple hits, he'll take him down. There he goes.
Koi did get the Ether Medallion from the Smith, so we now know where all of our medallions are. So God forbid we have to go into Mire or Turtle Rock, that should no longer be an issue for our runners.
Yeah, Zelga-Dasan could get that Quake if he needs it, but no one else has found those flippers. So yeah, kind of a weird state that everybody is in. I mentioned early on that I would love some divergence, and here we are.
Yeah, and actually, chat brought up an interesting point. Zelga is still missing that bow, so there's a distinct possibility he checks left side swamp to try and get that bow. Because again, if he could get that, that would save him a trip to the front of Escape. Another thing I don't think he would mind is the book either, because that's an alternative backup plan to get into Desert since he's still missing those emits.
Yeah, definitely a couple ways to get in there. Book could be anywhere. I see chat also saying book could be on pedestal, which is true.
Is this a paradox? Oh no, I'm sorry. This is a paradox. That's what the text reads if you read the pedestal with if it has book.
Look at the other cane. Cane of Berna.
What was Brian's cane doing on Stumpy? Did he steal Brian's cane?
Brian is going to be very mad when he finds his cane is missing.
Well, no, he's going to be mad when he finds out Stumpy stole it. Zelga is going straight to Argus, not doing left side swamp just yet. May end up going back for that later. Oh, Koi did not, or did Koi, oh no, Koi did bring the chest back.
Did bring the chest back. Headed to Mire, opting to go to Mire instead of Death Mountain first. So we'll get some information about the medallion here. Quake.
Ooh, that's actually good news for Koi, because that means he doesn't have to worry about Mire yet. Ooh, yeah, there's a shovel in Swamp.
So Zelga-Dasan not going to left side is actually not a bad play. You know, what he finds on Argus could be could be the item he's looking for. It's a crystal anyway, so might as well take care of it. He could always opt to come back in.
He could, and with his current equipment, he could also eventually do Desert and check the Pyramid Fairy as well. Actually, no mitts, so can't backdoor Desert Palace just yet. Ooh, Koi found half magic in Checkerboard Cave. That's, given Koi's early game state, that's pretty useful.
Yeah, I'll never pass up half magic, even if it is behind a whole bunch of blocks. So Zelga-Dasan pulling 2 of these bubbles at a time. Really good strat when you have the Master Sword. It's faster than doing things like the hammer strat, because he just takes care of 2 of them. Now already on to the final phase.
Yeah,
the ice rod is useful.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's not often you see an ice rod Argus.
That was really clean and really quick. So he's doing a really good job taking down these bosses. Now has his fourth crystal.
We get a moment from
Yeah.
truth from Koi. Desert Palace is not boots locked.
So we are in no mode for sure.
At least to get into GT, yes. There may still be that all possible 1 in 22 chance that that big key is on that torch. Then again, there's also a small chance the boots could be chilling in GT as well, so...
So Hado headed into Pod. He's going to make his way over there. Not a bad play, considering what he knows already. It's a dense dungeon, lots of items. I don't think he's going to find much in there unless he goes all the way back and really wants that bug net.
Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like our pendant dungeons ended up not being... we didn't even need to dip our pendant dungeons this time around. We certainly, at this point, don't need to dip Mire or Total Rock. Unless we need to find boots, but again, that's the, 1 in 22 chance that we need that.
Yeah, very low chance for that.
Because the Pod had, I think, it had a bottle, it had the swag net. That's really about it of note that I can remember.
So, no mode at about 45 minutes, but each of these runners has a lot of ground to cover. Zelga doesn't have his bow. None of the other runners, aside from Koi, have their mitts. Zelga only one with their flippers. So, still a lot of work for all 4 of these runners to do.
Yeah, that's one of the interesting things when you find all these items early is that they're scattered, though, in this case. Because mitts are on, as we said earlier, mitts are on Catfish, a lot of other stuff up on Death Mountain. So it's not only is there a lot of ground to cover, but it's spread out, too. So it's not like you can skip one over the other.
Yeah, I got a feeling that a couple of our runners might end up converging at Ice Palace as their last crystal, just kind of weaving in and out and checking each other's tracks.
Yeah, Go Mode Ice Palace is one of the best things you can hope for. Zelga did eventually, is now coming back into Left Side Swamp. It found another item, but it was just garbage. So far. There is also an item in the big chest. Oh, Scary Olive doing some digging. 9 digs for a heart container. Just a heart piece on Lanmolus. But that is Koi's 4th crystal.
Just some bombs in the big chest, mirroring straight out. No reason to stick around. I'm wondering what he's going to go to next.
Yeah, that's one of the most explosive swamp palaces I've ever seen.
Oh, jeez.
But Koi is making the play up the mountain, and this is gonna put him in he's in his case, it's gonna put him in Schrodinger's Go mode. Scary Olive is going to, or I should say Zelga rather, is going to give us the shovel spot along with the Stumpy check.
Yeah, so both of these guys picked up their Cane of Myrna, and one of them able to do the shovel. Is it anything useful? All we need is boots? Nah.
Right color, wrong item. To answer question, chat, Spike Cave was not checked yet.
No. And after getting all of these items out of Hera and Paradox, it's not really likely that Koi is going to spend a lot of time going to Spike Cave. Might even skip some of the things like Hookshot and Super Bunny if he really feels confident that he's going to run into maybe a sword along the way.
Yeah. Definitely interesting to see how Koi will handle this.
Because he's not going to need anything else. He's going to get his Hookshot in Spiral Cave. He'll get his flippers in Hera.
Yeah, I wonder if Koi might check a couple of on-the-way chests through GT. I imagine there may be one. I mean, given that two two pendant dungeons are basically going to be left completely untouched at this point. There's a distinct possibility there could be a sword hiding, one or two swords hiding in those dungeons, but there most likely is also one chilling in GT as well.
Perhaps.
I wouldn't be surprised. There's 27 checks back there.
Yeah, I think with the amount of items he's going to find, knowing Koi, he might just head straight for the remaining dungeons. So after this, he'll just have, he has logical access to everything once he gets his hook shot.
Yeah, unfortunately, Koi burnt a little bit of time doing the Smith chain, although admittedly did get half magic, and it got Landmolus out of the way now, so not a bad idea to do so.
Yeah, not a whole lot of time lost through that, and, there could be some other runners also headed for that later. If they don't find, say, no, they would need the gloves. Who knows if they would be looking for a sword or something else. So we got two runners going through Tower of Hera here. Scary Olive and Koi.
Ooh, and this is very good news for Zelga. He's pulling out the mirror. He is right in front of Hyrule Castle now, so this is a prime moment to do the front of escape and get that bow.
Yeah, absolutely. Then he'll have access to get Eastern Palace. If he decides to go into Pod, maybe looking for mitts, he'll go there. Yeah, that bow is going to be perfect for him.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's the one downside to finding the bow at this point. It is going to lead Zelga to Pod, and it is said that plundering Palace of Darkness is a foolish choice. That's for you Zelda Ocarina of Time randomizer fans out there. We also have Ohado in the up the mountain as well.
Yeah, Ohado probably not as far behind as he might appear. He's still got 3 crystals. Gonna get his 4th after going through Tower of Hera, and he's got just as much access as almost anybody else. Maybe save Koi with those Titan's mitts.
Yeah, actually, that might be a blessing in disguise, because we know Dark Death Mountain is pretty much not going to have anything of significant value at this point, so not being able to access that means Ohado will be able to nope out of the mountain a little faster.
That's right, so he'll definitely have to go somewhere else, whereas someone like Koi might spend a little bit more time up there.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's a very distinct, before I get into that, we should point out that at 52:48, Koi is in Schrodinger's Go mode. And only 2 crystals to go.
Not going to do Dark Death Mountain. Save and quit. He's got his flute out. He's going to probably head to, well, he's got Swamp and Ice open to him, so he's got his choice, really.
Yeah, and Swamp and Ice are the 2 dungeons especially you really, really want to go mode. Because neither of them you need the big keys for.
Yeah, there's such a difference between go moding both of those versus having to go a normal route or full clearing them, especially with something like Left Side Swamp.
Especially since we know so early on that so many of these, we know exactly where our runners need to go and what not to do. Zelga, meanwhile, is going to Pod.
Yep, gonna go to Pod. Good. Not a terrible choice for him. Still needing the mitts and possibly boots. He does not know anything about the Desert Palace setup yet, and he could mirror over to Eastern Palace once he's done here. So, not a terrible play for him, knowing what he knows.
Yeah, in this case, the routing is a little bit efficient in Zelga's case, since he's the only runner to have not done Eastern.
So we haven't seen the Hera basement. The other runners have not done it, but Scary Olive getting a little coffee break in the basement and going to check what that second item is.
This will be interesting if this item ends up being Pegasus boots. I mean, we keep talking about that 1 in 22 chance. You know, for all we know, everybody could have to come back. Now, granted, if it's here, this is like the one place everybody wants it to be. Because you literally just mirror, go in, get the boots, and take the portal back. And boom, you're already back in GT. It's like you never burnt any daylight.
Yeah, those coincidences, when they happen, it's always fascinating and entertaining to see for the runners.
I like to call that revenge of the convenience.
So there's Alhado taking down Moldorm here. Gets his fourth crystal. I missed it. Did not see what was in the basement, but it does not look like it was of anything of use.
Yeah, chat's saying it was just $20. We are getting our first Spike Cave check from Scary Olive as well.
Out of magic. Oh, he has a bottle. That's okay. Bunch of money.
Yeah, that's not going to help at this point. Uh-oh, he just saved and quit without checking Spiral Cave.
Yeah, he didn't do Spiral Cave, so he misses out on his hookshot.
That's a pretty big no-no.
So that might put him... Looks like he's going to head into ice. Unless he's not done the light world checks yet.
He doesn't have mitts, so he has to do the... He's doing his regular flippers checks. And with all the money, I don't think he's been scammed by Zori yet, so... Oh, you know what? This is bad news for Scary Olive, because it makes you wonder if that Quake medallion is going to push him to... Oh, still no mitts, so never mind. But you gotta think, if he gets the mitts from Catfish and has that Quake medallion in tow, it might make him think Meyer, which unfortunately we know is just no good.
Yeah, Meyer's going to be a red herring for him.
Actually, it won't, because we don't have the
anyway.
boots. He can't get past... Actually, thinking about it, he can't get past the foyer because he doesn't have boots to bonk over the gap, and he skipped the only other item that can get him through that, so... Actually, I take it back. So Meyer is going to be off the table for Scary Olive for a little while, at least.
Yeah, needs the mitts to get in there anyway. He's just going to go straight back to the waterfall, possibly to Zora, instead of doing something that he could have done with the mirror. Check Catfish and then mirror over to this area.
Yeah, just very unfortunate. Koi, meanwhile, is on crystal number 6, and now in just a few minutes is going to just swing right through Ice Palace.
Alhado picking up his hookshot. So that's great for him. That opens up, all of Swamp for him. And looks like Zelga Dasan headed towards Helmasaur at this point, having done the rest of Palace of Darkness, coming up empty.
Yeah, finding those mitts. What a lucky find for Koi.
Yeah, that completely separated him in his routing from everybody else. So while everyone kind of took the logical path without them, he was able to make a few different checks in a few different areas.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what just kind of play back the expected logic chain in my head. So you were expected to, after Dark World access, of course, you were expected to Go to Skullwoods to get your mirror, and Thieves Town to get your flute. Well, actually, flute's not really helping us at this point. To get your cane, I should say. And then with the mirror from Skullwoods, then you could get to Tower of Hera to get your flippers, and then to Spiral Cave to get your hookshot. That's it, really. This was not a convoluted multi-chain seed at all.
And get this, almost an hour in, we still haven't found the lamp.
Very true, and the lamp could very well be in GT.
Could be post Molderum for all we know.
Oh, actually, come to think of it, also, the flute was our mandatory Death Mountain access, since no sign of that lamp. So, yeah, Thieves Town had 2 valuable items in there.
Scary Olive is headed back. He realizes he did not do Spike Cave, so he'll pick up his hookshot after going through the snooze tunnel.
Yeah, Zelda getting that swag net now, while Koi absolutely nails the Ice Palace bomb jump.
And with that hookshot, Ohado is going to make his way into Swamp Palace. Yeah, so, I mean, we got a little bit of stuff going on. Koi probably going to skip some of these chests unless they are right in his way and head right down to Cold Stare.
Yeah, ideally you would prefer to not have to do that. Is one thing. We are still on Master Sword Silverless right now, so unless we happen to find those, we can get both of those within short order. We may be having to see the hard way of dealing with Ganon tonight.
I have full confidence that these runners can all handle that.
Oh, no doubt, but it is nevertheless going to be a tough slog. Now, granted, Koi has half magic, so that is a major area of breathing room that Koi has over our other runners, at least for now.
Yeah, when you start getting into like Master Sword Silverless Ganon, there's a lot of things that can go wrong. There's little margin for error, and half magic will help him because it is going to be a longer fight. He's going to need every bit of magic to keep that torch lit.
Yeah, because in Master Sword Silverless, you need to spin Ganon 52 times. 12 in the first 2 phases, 4 in the third, and 24 in the last. Koi, meanwhile, taking full advantage of that half magic and just pelting Cold Stare with fireballs. Get some bombs, but it is the last crystal for Koi, so ladies and gentlemen, it is time to play the big key guessing game. Ladies and gentlemen, there are 22 locations in the basement of Ganon's tower. 21 chests and 1 torch, where that big key could be located. Get your guesses in from 1 to 22, and let's see where that big key is.
Given the way the seed goes, I'm going to guess for 2.
I'm going to guess 7. Though I think somebody else in chat already beat me to it, so if it's 7, whoever beat me to it in chat is going to get it.
The worst possible case would be the torch, because then they have to go find those boots.
And the boots could be literally anywhere else right now. Including pedestal.
The dreaded pedestal. At this far, I don't want to curse anybody with that misfortune.
Oh my god, can you imagine? This went from this goes from Jet Seed to Oops All Dungeons in a heartbeat. Zelgo's about to check Agina's cave, which unfortunately is not going to have his Titan's mitts, so you gotta wonder what's going to point him towards Catfish, besides the last location, of course. We are getting our first Super Bunny check from Koi, though. I think this is our first Super Bunny. Yeah, bombs and rupees.
Yeah, it is our first Super Bunny. He's the only one with mitts, so he's the only one with access to Dark Death Mountain.
Exactly.
He's still looking for, I'm sure, Tempered Sword, maybe Silvers, something to make that Ganon fight a little bit easier.
Yeah, the bigger one would definitely be Silver Arrows. Otherwise, he wouldn't be checking Hookshot Cave right now. He's probably also imagining that he's thinking he's ahead right now because of how good his routing has been. And I think he's also trying to play it safe and hope that he can run into Pegasus boots before getting into GT. He's got a lot of health now, just got 2 heart containers from all that. So 12 hearts, blue mail. Not ideal, but not bad either. And you might even find some more safeties as you traverse through GT. But yeah,
Yes.
Dark Death Mountain was pretty empty.
Yeah, so many chests in GT. There's bound to be something to help you. Maybe an extra bottle, maybe a sword, armor. You know, going back to something you said maybe half an hour ago, catfish is one of those things that there's never a great time to route in, and you're seeing it in action. Nobody else has gone over there, and that is where everyone will have to go.
Yeah, and unfortunately, because everybody's checked Zora before picking up the mirror, there's no... It's now purely a one-off check. Oh, Koi's going left. Let's see. Well, not exactly a big key, but our first check is a small key on the torch. So, yeah, Koi's in go mode.
Definitely in go mode. So that's one.
Oh, there's another key. And it was chest number 4.
Congratulations to anybody who chose 4. I don't have anything to give you tonight, but congratulations.
I'll take a quick look back at the chat. I don't see any guesses for 4 either. The closest we had without going over is Orange the Yordle with a guess of 3. We had a couple others with a guess of 3 as well, but Orange was our first guesser to select 3. So by Price is Right rules, congratulations, Orange.
Congratulations, Orange. So we got 2 in Swamp Palace. Scary Olive going to go all the way back, but Alhado is headed to left side swamp. Yeah, Mitts at Catfish is throwing a lot of people off and really kind of making people look where they don't really want to look, but they have to.
Yeah, 3 weeks ago, I had a similar case in the Super Metroid Zelda 3 combo randomizer seat as well, where, again, Mitts were on Catfish, and the poor guy was pretty much last location by a lot of runners.
Hmm.
Yeah, there are still 4 chests in the attic of Ganon's tower that could still have our bow or sword. Now, Koi would definitely want to see either of those by now, but as you mentioned before, these runners should at least be able to perform Master Sword Silverless Ganon. It's not optimal, and boy is it a pain, but they can nonetheless do it.
Yeah, as long as you just don't get too close to Ganon to take a hit, because he'll still hit you pretty hard even with blue mail, or take a fall. You know, any of these runners could still do it just fine.
Yeah, I think Ganon's damage on blue mail, a Ganon hug is 6 hearts? I know it's 4 on red and 8 on green. So yeah, I think it's 6 by default, by process of elimination.
So Zelga is making his way to the top right. He's gonna get these mitts from Catfish, and that's gonna put him in go mode as well.
Yeah, but he's not gonna be happy seeing them because he's gonna realize, wait, I last location these. That is no good.
Mm-hmm.
And this already after last locationing the bow pretty much as well, so... Yeah, I imagine Zelga... I mean, it will put Zelga in go mode, but he's gonna feel behind.
Oh yeah, last locationing any important item that will unlock, you know, your progression never feels good. So this is his ticket into Ice Palace and his key into Desert Palace as well, using the flute, using the side door.
Yeah, and he's going straight to Desert right now, so might as well just get that out of the way now. Koi having a little trouble on the cousin of Laser Bridge.
Yeah, it's so much easier with the boots. You just kind of, you know, have that muscle memory of, I'm on this path, I'll take the boots, and just skewer right through all of these guards. but no boots.
Now, Koi does still have one bottle of blue goo left, so does have one full magic refill if absolutely necessary. But yeah, luckily gets this nice free fill up here right before Moldorm 2. Yeah, now Koi's definitely going to check these two chests.
There's no reason not to check these two, and the two coming up pre and post Moldorm, just for that, you know, just little chance you could find that tempered sword, make that fight so much quicker.
Yeah, it'll be hilarious if one of these two ends up being the lamp.
That's true. It could be as far as the post Moldorm chest. We haven't needed it at all.
But yeah, this is something I don't think I've ever seen, a lampless, logically lampless seed. Ooh! Koi, don't scare us like that.
Close there.
Okay, he's good.
No.
Nope, just a lot of sticks in the top of GT. And they're not silver sticks, though, so they ain't gonna help that much. Scary Olive, meanwhile, has finally picked up those Titan's mitts on his end. He is now in go mode. Actually, is he? Because did he pick up that hook shot?
He did pick up the hook shot. He just finished Swamp Palace.
Right, yeah, so he's good.
He's in go mode.
Alright, Koi with 12 hearts, blue mail, and a full bar of magic, taking on Aga 2.
So he's got to get 6 hits here. He's got to reflect these orange and blue balls right back to him.
Yeah, got a nice double to start things off. The clone's not exactly in the most favorable pattern here. Got another double there, but that blue ball spoiled the triple kill. Ooh, that was a really...
Still gets it pretty quickly.
Yeah, that was a really unfavorable pattern there, but still managed to squeeze a hit out of that. But ladies and gentlemen, it is time to face the big pig.
One hour, about 12 minutes, he is going to head right into Ganon's tower. As we've been mentioning, he's got Master Sword, no silvers, and only Fire Rod. So he's going to have to... He does have half magic, but he is going to have to conserve some of that magic.
Yeah, now unfortunately, Ganon's silver arrows hint is occasionally, depending on location, is bugged, and it may not reveal the actual location of the silvers here. We will know if Ganon says, "Did you find the arrows in Hyrule Castle?" That the silvers hint is not correct. Now, Zelga has finished Desert, but has returned to the Dark World in order to check the Mire Shed, and may check out Checkerboard Cave, which will give him half magic, which, for all he knows, he might need it, given that so far with what we have found, we're doing Master Sword Silverless Ganon here. Although Koi in a very good position to get multiple double spins here, and takes advantage of the cape as well, although, yeah, he elected to not grab the wall to preserve his magic, but instead, and now he's taking advantage of it. So if you grab the wall while holding the cape, you do not drain your magic.
Yeah, he's going to have to conserve as much magic as he can, so take advantage of that glitch. He's on to phase 3, so he's got to get 1 hit every time Ganon stops phasing, and as soon as the borders of the room fall to pieces, he'll be on phase 4.
Ganon being incredibly cooperative right now with these teleports, actually. Besides the first couple at the start, has never teleported a single time after.
Ooh,
the
silvers
arrows
were in GT.
Wow, so they might have been in right side GT or in Bob's chest. There's a lot of places where that could translate to, considering we've only checked 5 chests.
Yeah, we did not go very far into GT at all, so lots of places they could be. He gets the torch glitch, so he is able to pull off the Silverless Ganon, with this. Although that Fire Rod, even with half magic, will take a lot more magic than the lamp does.
Yeah, I think right now he has quarter magic with a refill. He has 18 shots left. And I think I counted 5 spins out of the remaining 24. I think this is 6 and 7 now, so he's only got to do about a little over a dozen more spins, but he's still got to do those spins.
Yeah, there's a wide enough window to hit him once he starts phasing, and the torch will last about as long for 2 of those hits. So 2 hits per everyone. He should be all right on magic, just also having that bottle he just refilled with.
Yeah, he still has 14 fire rod shots left, so he should be okay. He's just got to really watch out for falling. That's really the one thing that can screw him up at this point. Yeah, that's not a good position right now for Ganon, because that could bounce you straight into the wall.
Yeah, would be a terrible time for a bounce. Phase 4, he's more than halfway through it.
I think he's only got maybe less than 5 spins left. And there goes Ganon. Now, the only thing stopping Koi is that all dangerous 1x3 bridge, but get your GGs in chat for Koi. Wonderful performance.
What an incredible run by him with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 15 minutes, 52 seconds. He is the first finisher on the restream and first overall in this race. GG.
Yeah, that decision to go to Catfish gave Koi the race, pretty much. And we have Koi in chat with us. Koi, GG, an absolutely fantastic performance, my friend.
GG, Koi.
Everybody gets one.
So yeah, let me put it to you this way. Everybody else's go mode was Titan's Mitts.
Yeah, I figured. Like that, I knew as soon as I was in go mode, and I realized nothing came from the mitts, that I was in a good spot. Because everyone else was going to full clear swamp. And possibly even like pod before we go in to get the mitts.
Everybody else pretty much did clear pod, actually.
Yep, there were many trips into pod and even some left side swamp
gambles
here.
Was Lamp in swamp?
We don't know. We have not found Lamp.
Still no one's found the Lamp.
Nobody in the stream has found Lamp.
I figured people might go to Catfish before pod if they didn't have the Lamp, because I didn't really want to go to pod because of no Lamp. But I don't know, like walking up to Catfish at the start of Dark World is something I do quite often. Sometimes it just absolutely rewards you, and usually it's not even a big punish. Everybody ends up going to do it anyway.
Yeah, and but like Lumaga was saying, we have no idea where that lamp is, and for all we know, it's chilling somewhere else in GT.
My guess would be TR. Like, TR looked pretty heavy for me. Like, when I was walking up the mountain to do Hera, I was thinking, all right, we'll check Hera, we'll check the mountain. I'll probably skip, like, Spike Cave and, Hera Basement or something if that ends up having an item. But I'm going into Hera before I go to Left Side Swamp or before I go to Ice Palace.
You actually were...
I was going to go to TR. That's what I meant to say.
Actually, funny enough, you were the only runner to not pick up the Ice Rod.
Oh, really? Where was that?
You know something? I don't even remember where the Ice Rod was at this point.
I got to skip a fair bit of the game. Like, I didn't even do Paradox Cave.
And apparently, according to the credits, the Witch had the Pegasus boots, so they were mushroom locked, which we don't even know where the mushroom is holding.
Fun.
Ice Rod was in Paradox Cave.
It was in Paradox, okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so this is actually really interesting seed. Good pendant setup. None of the pendants were needed. Both pendants were long dungeons. You didn't need any of the medallions then, and you didn't need the lamp for this. And then the one thing that could have tripped anyone up, even though you were in go mode very quickly, was boots needed for GT, and that didn't happen. So really just interesting setup for this seed.
I love how the credits, by the way, say fire starting kid.
Yeah, the big key on the torch in GT is, obviously it's like 1 in 22. So the meta play, like the play almost everybody does, is to just assume it's not on the torch and just go mode everything. I opened chests on the way, but I wasn't really looking for boots so much as I was just looking for a sword or silvers or something.
Yeah, how'd you feel when you discovered they were chilling in GT somewhere else?
Oh, were they?
That's what Ganon said during the fight.
Yeah, I know. I'm so focused on like the execution for the fight. Like I never read what he says.
Yeah, because we know that because the first one was in front of Escape, so we know if he said Hyrule Castle, then the hint was still bugged. And also, it looks like it was just rupees on the pedestal.
Fun.
To answer question, Chad, half magic was in Checkerboard Cave, and yeah, Koi, that's the other thing that made your Master Sword Silverless fight much less of a pain. You were the only one to have half magic.
Oh yeah, you're right. I did get something nice from having mitts early. Because I was thinking the only thing I got was ether on Smiths, but yeah, half magic. That definitely made a difference for lampless Master Sword Silverless. I mean, I had the 2 bottles. If I didn't have half magic, I would have just gone to fill the other bottle.
Yeah, we gotta hand it to you for execution. You got pretty much everything down pat. You nailed the Ice Palace bomb jump. You had no trouble with Cold Stare. Your Master Sword Silverless Ganon fight pretty much says it all.
I feel like your standards are lower than mine, because I feel like my Cold Stare was terrible, and my Ganon was terrible. My Agatu was terrible.
Dude, it's Master Sword Silverless Ganon.
I know, but I kept missing Silverless spins. He was giving me like bad RNG, like he kept going up to the top right corner like a jerk. But you know, nothing you can really do about that.
I mean, there's as much luck as there is skill in randomizer. So, you know, 115, you were fortunate with some of your routing, but it's no accident to do some of the things that we saw on stream. So, GG. So we do have Zelga Dasan. He got his last pendant, or I'm sorry, his last crystal. He's headed up towards the gauntlet now, having found the big key. Scary Olive and Ohado still, what are they still looking for? I think Scary Olive might actually just be looking for a sword or something.
Yeah, Scary Olive's looking for the sword for the extra Ganon ammo, and Ohado just picked up the 7th crystal.
Did you back of escape?
Back of Escape was garbage, I think.
There was a sword?
Oh yeah, everybody did Back of Escape.
Oh, you mean he's looking for Tempered?
He's looking for Tempered, yeah.
I thought you were looking for Master Sword. Did we ever see a Tempered Sword?
No.
No.
We still have no idea where those are. We figured the
Mitzlocked.
swords were chilling in Total Rock, to be perfectly honest.
It's gotta be Mitts locked, right? Because everybody else full cleared the game looking for Mitts.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah, chat's really curious to know where the mushroom was, too, because that was locking our boots.
I think the assumption is everything's in GT.
And nobody checking tile room for us.
Well, obviously, I feel real good about this seed. I mean, I understand, like, a big part of why I'm finishing so much farther ahead of everyone else is because I made that one gamble to go up to Catfish early. But, you know, otherwise I feel really good about the run. Like, I probably would have placed well, even if I hadn't done that.
Yeah, we were saying before how it's those gambles that really make the difference between a record time and a last location. And I mean, just look at today.
Well, it was real dangerous for me that I got the mitts early, right? Because nothing was locked behind the mitts. So getting the mitts early might have meant that I went to all those mitts lock locations that nobody else does. And like I full cleared Meyer and TR or something looking for the ice rod when it's just in like the front of, or not the ice rod, but like the hook shot when it's just in the front of pod or something. Like it could have gone completely the other way if the items were laid out just slightly differently.
Yeah, chat's looking at your collection rate, and so it's just 109, and that's astounding.
Yeah, it's really low. My record is 99 for an open 7-7.
That's fantastic.
That's crazy.
All right, Alhado is now making the trek through GT.
Well, I'd really love to stick around and listen to the interviews with the other guys, but unfortunately, I got to get back to playing more rando. So thanks you guys so much for the restream. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for putting on a fantastic performance.
Absolutely. Thank you, Koi. So everybody is now in GT.
Yeah, Scary Olive has the big key. Alhado is checking the Hope Room. Zelga is about to hit Moldorm 2.
Zelga also looking for anything to help him out with the Ganon fight. Didn't find the silvers, even though he did go right side, so likely somewhere deeper on the left side.
Probably Rando Room or Armos Knights. Answer question, chat. Hookshot was in Spiral Cave.
Okay, Zelga going to take on Aga 2, and he'll be right on to Ganon.
Hello again, Koi.
Gets a nice double for his first shot. Right in line for a second double.
Ooh, nicely done. So the teleport patterns and the blue balls are consistent among each seed for the runners, luckily.
Zelka giving a little bit of rhythm with his hook shot, banging on the door.
Yep, and it is now time for Zelga to face the big pigs. Gonna be a bit tougher for Zelga. He does not have half magic.
Yeah, and I don't know what his state of his bottles are at this point, so he's gonna have a little bit more management to do on that fire rod.
Yeah, this is tough. Without half magic, one gauge only gives you 8 shots.
So he does set up for those double Master Sword spins in the corner and on the bottom of this room, so he's going to get through phase 1 and most of phase 2 a little bit quicker.
I gotta wonder in the GT Gauntlet, because I just saw Alhado get zipped across the map courtesy of a BMO statue. I gotta wonder if it's possible to find a real pattern where that could actually be a useful speed strat.
Alright, so Zelga is on to phase 3. Getting 4 of these hits to get on to phase 4, and we'll see what he's able to pull off with this this Master Sword Silverless Ganon. Gets the fire torch glitch, awesome.
Yeah, he's got 12 shots left for the fire rod. Now, if my memory serves me correctly, I think it took Koi. I want to say it took Koi 13 or so fire rod shots. Not 13, more like 11 or 10, but yeah, this is gonna be close.
Well, he's playing it smart. He is waiting until Ganon is in a good position for him to wind up his, charge up his spin before he hits the fire rod on that torch. So gives him a little bit of more time and a little bit better management for that magic.
Yeah, even managed to get a triple from that last swipe. All right, he's got 7 shots left with the fire rod. Ooh, he whiffed a shot there. Just a pixel or two too high. I don't think he has more than a few spins left at this point, though.
No, he's got to have maybe less than 2, 1 or 2.
Yeah, I'm at the edge of my seat here watching this one. He's got 2 shots left with that fire rod.
It's going to be close. He's going to have to light this one more time, and he's got 1 shot left.
There he goes, pulling out a clutch win over Ganon. How about some GGs in chat for Zelga Desan, ladies and gentlemen? And with that, that's going to be good for an SRL time of 1:30:38, and that is going to put Zelga in 3rd place. Our 2nd place finisher was Wayne with a time of 1:27:36. And also we had Lin, who just finished with a time of 1:31:07. So
we'll try and get him in for an interview. Scary Olive also headed into his Ganon fight, just having beaten Aghanim 2. And Ohado not too far behind, just beating Moldorm 2.
it would appear that Scary Olive is electing to mirror in order to refill his bottles.
That's not a bad move. Doesn't have the half magic. He's going to have at least 1 refill here if he wants to.
And we've got Zelga joining us now up in the booth. Zelga, GG to you.
Hey, GG, thank you.
We gotta hand it to you on that Master Sword Silverless Ganon fight. Yeah, you were kind of pretty close there.
Yeah, I'm honestly not sure if I even had another potion. I knew I had 1 green going into the fight, and I knew that's all I should need, even with some mistakes. And I made plenty of them, to be honest. So I'm just glad I got through it.
Yeah, so what were your thoughts to first Bow in front of Escape and then Mitts on Catfish?
It was basically the culmination of the 2 possible worst things that could have happened. I knew someone was going to God route the seed once I found the bow, and then once I found the Mitts, I knew it was going to be Koi. So that's just kind of how it went. The bow being in castle means that someone's going to go to Eastern and get the glove, and then, yeah, the Mitts being on Catfish. I last location, absolutely hard last location, the only thing I could do besides Dark Aga. So, I mean, that's just rando. Sometimes it happens to you, sometimes it doesn't. And I mean, it was still good enough for 3rd place in this race, which is insane since Koi finished 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, do you also want to know where Half Magic ended up being?
Sure, where's that?
It was in Checkerboard Cave.
Nice. Yeah, that kind of doesn't surprise me. Like one of those few checks I didn't do after it, because I was thinking, Master Sword Silverless, Lampless. Maybe I should at least check things like Mire Shed or even like the Freezor chest. Not the Freezor, it's the Pengator chest in Ice. But yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, so I completely forgot what I was just gonna say.
Yeah, so Zelgada-san, we didn't find silvers, nobody found lamp, and nobody found boots. So this is actually kind of a interesting setup for the seed, which allowed people to get about a 130 time like you did. How did it feel in the first part of it? I know you skipped escape, so that didn't get you the bow, but things still seem to be opening up for you.
Yeah, part of why I never got to escape or catfish is just because I kept having things to do. I ended up having 4 crystals without even really trying. Between Thieves, Skull, Hera, and Swamp, it just everything kept laying out perfect. So, I mean, I can't really complain too much about the seed, especially with a Mitts Go mode. I mean, that's like a very large part of the game that you don't ever have to touch. But I mean, that's just kind of the nature. Sometimes you get led in one direction, you go left when you should have gone right, even if left is the more enticing play in my mind. And sometimes you lose for it. But it's all good. That's the nature of the game. If that didn't happen, it wouldn't be near as exciting.
Exactly. Yeah, and the blueprints were all in place to check some Turtle Rock dungeons too, because after getting Flippers, you could have gotten Quake and then gone back for TR, because TR ended up being Quake.
Yeah, that's funny. I never checked Turtle Rock. I knew Meyer was Quake. But yeah, I think one interesting thing about the seed is that logically the lamp could be in Ganon's tower, and I'm kind of wondering if it is.
So are we. Even after you checked full right, we still didn't see it, and nobody went past the Stalfos room after picking up the big key.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I went ahead and committed to hard right, even though it's not something I normally do off of one key, just because my equipment was low, so it's a few more checks. Plus, Samaria had not been logically required for anything, even Ice Palace. So I was thinking, well, maybe that's why we got Samaria, but you try and big brain it like that, and it didn't pay off.
Yeah, that's such a rare occurrence to find so many items that ended up not being needed. We didn't need Ice Rod, we didn't need Samaria, we didn't need Boots, we didn't need Lamp, we didn't need Medallion.
So I want to jump in here real quick. We had Olhado and Scary Olive both fighting Ganon. Olhado made it to phase 4, but took a fall. Looked like it was an intentional fall because he is does not have enough magic to finish phase 4, which is giving Scary Olive here the lead. Now he's on phase 4 of Ganon.
Yeah, got Torch Glitch, but only has 4 shots left with a Fire Rod.
And Scary Olive only on half a heart, so he's got to be very careful.
He's been on half a heart for at least the last 2 minutes. Oh, he missed a couple spins. Ooh, that's his last shot, unless he's got a bottle hiding.
Oh, he has.
He
blue.
does. Yeah. Wow, waited a long time to burn that. I guess every shot counts, you know?
Yeah, he doesn't want to fill it up with too much magic left over and then not have enough magic after he burned his bottle.
I know Ganon's hint today, or Ganon's flavor text was talking about slugs today, and yeah, this Ganon fight has been a big slug for our runners. Oh wait, I'm sorry, that's a slog. Scary Olive should be down to just a couple more spins. Ooh, that was close. On Blue Mail chat, a Ganon Hug still does 6 hearts of damage. But that is the final spin to Ganon from Scary Olive. Get your GGs in chat for Scary Olive. And with that, Scary Olive finishes in... that's going to be 6th place with a time of 1:39.16.
Our 5th place finisher just before him was Just a Boy at 1 hour 38 minutes 47 seconds.
And Scary Olive joins us now in chat. GG to you, Scary Olive.
Thank you.
Hey, GG's.
And GG's to Zelga and Koi with the craziest of time. I was not even in Ganon, I was like, oh my god, this guy. I really want to watch that because that's amazing.
Yeah,
The biggest
Koi's,
difference for him was gambling catfish early.
Yeah. I gambled pod early. Didn't really work out. If I just kept going to catfish, maybe, but not really happy with my execution, like Mudorm and forgetting some portals and here and there, but otherwise pretty okay with. Like, it's been a long time since I haven't done Master Sword Ganon, so I was like not sure with the magic since we don't have the lamp and stuff, so I was like extra precautious with the potions, and I guess I would have been fine with only 2.
Although we gotta hand it to you for sticking it out there with half a heart for like 2 minutes.
That was like, do I take the potion and be like full health, but then if I miss magic, I'm not sure how many magic I need. So I was like, oh, I'm fine.
This is fine.
It's a good practice. It's once you're done the fire phase, I never get it. So but it's like the end of the fire phase, the second phase. But yeah, well, it was a fun race. Yeah, definitely jet seedable, but got the almost last occasion at mitts all the time.
Yeah, at least they were mitts, which did lock out a lot of other much worse spots.
Yeah. Oh yeah, if you get mitts early, you open a lot of stuff, but I guess you don't really want to go in Mire and Turtle Rock at this point, so
yeah,
maybe just the Smith chains.
In Koi's case, he was lucky to only need the flippers and hookshot, which luckily happened to be in front of all the Dark Death Mountain and Turtle Rock checks, so he got those out of the way first and then realized, oh wait, that's everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're still kind of just amazed on how little was needed the whole seed, because Ice Rod wasn't needed, logically Cane wasn't needed, Lamp wasn't needed, Boots weren't needed. A lot of things were just not needed in this seed, and that's not something you typically see in any seed.
Yeah. It was a very, very, very low requirement. No medallions needed, no nothing. And yeah, you could even you didn't have to. You could have technically, I guess you could have go moded swamp, go moded ice. No need to go in pod. It's pretty fast if you know what to do. If it's a spoiler log seed, this one, I guess you can do it in like 50 minutes. I don't know, maybe. I'm not good at this game in spoiler logs, but really, it could be really fast.
All right, so I shivered for a second because Ohara had emptied his magic bar when he delivered the final spin to Ganon. So get your GGs in chat for Ohara. I don't know if he had a spare bottle, but what a finish. He is in 7th place with a time of 1:43.08. So let that serve as to how crazy this seed ended up being. Our restream runners ended up being in the top 7. There are still at least 10, almost 10 more runners still in this race.
Yeah,
off camera.
This is a crazy seed, and if you just made the right choices or some, different choices early on, it's a whole different kind of seed. So, congratulations to all our runners getting in with these times, and definitely with their execution. Scary Olive, right? I mean, you're saying you weren't happy with a lot of your execution. I didn't notice anything, too terrible. I saw, I think a death in Mothula, but other than that, I think it was okay.
Yeah, the death in Mothula was like normally I would just have taken the powder, the fairy, and then I would have been fine. But then I thought if I put it in the bottle and I managed to not die, I can keep a fairy with me, and then I died. But mostly, I think it's Tower of Era. I was like I failed my bomb jump to the chest, and then I fell Moldorm. So I was like, oh, this is going bad. But otherwise, I guess yes, it's not so bad.
We are joined by Alhado, our fourth finisher on the restream. GG, Alhado.
GG.
GG.
So, Hado, we gotta ask you about your thoughts, mitts on catfish.
You know, I thought of going straight up there after I cleared pod, and I was like, man, there's so much left up on mountain. It's got to be like high chance mitts are up there, and I just decided to orphan those two locations on the pyramid ledge and catfish, and I was kicking myself for going against what I wanted to do.
We gotta hand it to you though for that Master Sword Silverless fight just now, especially since was that your? Did you have a spare bottle left, or was that literally your last fire rod shot?
No, I had one bottle left in that fight.
Okay.
The first time around, I realized pretty early on, I was like, shoot, I don't think I have enough magic left to do this, and unfortunately had to flute and go get more potions. So yeah, that would have saved me a good chunk of time.
Any other interesting points from your perspective in the seed you want to bring up?
I mean, generally it seemed like it was pretty linear. You know, if you routed it well, you could pretty much hit everything right in one swoop. I mean, I decided to dip out early after skipping, after doing pod there. But you know, if you're the type to just go in a full circle there, then really good seed for you.
I just wish we had that boots in this seed. I really hate doing Ganon's Tower without boots.
Yeah, that was rough. Going over those bridges without them, it's like, oh, I gotta stun these guys so they don't get knocked off.
Yeah.
I was giving Koi a lot of trouble too. And for those who may have just been coming in who are not aware, the boots were on the mushroom, according to the credits.
Okay.
Which we don't know where that is. So
Where's the mushroom?
for all we know, that's chilling in Misery Mire.
Yeah, Meyer and I think Meyer and probably Turtle Rock were stacks, like with swords and
Yeah,
boots.
I honestly thought getting early Rod and Red Cane, I thought that Meyer and or Turtle Rock were going to be required. So I was really happy to see Mitz's go mode and be able to skip all of that. Especially after getting that Ice Rod.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think we've kind of covered most everything just between all of our four runners about just kind of the oddities of this type of seed, where things were. We didn't find a whole lot of things. Any closing thoughts on this? I mean, this had the potential to be a jet, or you could still be racing it if you hadn't found the mitts early on.
I mean, like this kind of seed, it is what it is. Like it could have, depending on where the mitts were. You saw it all. Like Koi finished super quickly, and then depending on also I guess the execution and stuff. But I think I'm okay with it. I'm not so sad with all that went out, and just glad I didn't like get mitts and then start going into pendant dungeons and go for the pedestal.
For me, it would just be GG's, everyone. I do appreciate being able to be on the restream and appreciate the commentary, the tracking, the restream. It's always fun to be kind of showcased like this, and I'm glad to take part of it. And I can watch this back next to a god and see what happened.
Yeah, same as what Zelga said there. Thank you guys for hosting us here and tracking, commentating.
Yeah, all four of you guys put on a great show for us. Everybody, please give these guys a follow. Koi, Zelga Dasan, Scary Olive, and Alhado. Check them out. They are great runners. Thank you guys again for putting yourselves out there for us on the restream. And I'd also like to thank our trackers, Semper Firedog and Jinxie Girl. Thank you for excellent tracking tonight.
Yeah, we should also give a shout out to we should also give out shouts to MathGirl718, who really went out of her way to get the stream put together in time for you folks. Big, major points to her for that one tonight.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, folks, if you are looking for more randomizer action tonight, we do have Final Fantasy, the Final Fantasy Weekly going on Channel 1. That is going on until around midnight tonight. For more, a link to the past randomizer action, we have our daily race at 2 p.m. Eastern tomorrow afternoon, as well as another tournament race, or I believe that's our first tournament race, if not another qualifier.
We're still in the qualifiers.
We are still in qualifiers. Okay, so we have another qualifier race tomorrow evening at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Time. So there's plenty more rando to be had in the coming days. But with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I am Captain MD13. On behalf of me, my partner Lumaga83, and our trackers and all the folks here at Speed Gaming, we wish you a good night, and thank you for watching.